Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is the first day of the 12 days of Pilates at Christmas. And we're going to concentrate on moving your spine, getting you ready for the day if you are doing it in the morning, or just helping you after perhaps a busy day, or maybe a day that you've just had on the sofa. I hope everyone's had a good day or about to have a good day, and come join me on the mat. Have a little sip of whatever you've got to drink and we will get going with our session. So in today's session, we're going to start in a seated position. If you need to, just stack some blocks up if you find this irritates your hips or it just doesn't feel quite right, okay? Cushions also work just as well if you don't have blocks. So just rest your hands onto your knees, press your sit bones into the floor and just get a gentle rock from side to side. So I want you to just be aware of what you can feel underneath you, what part of your legs are, gently resting into the floor. As you rock from side to side, can you feel the weight distribution? Can you feel your sit bones? Can you feel the bony bits of your pelvis? I'd like you to create some even weight across those two areas. And again, getting that sense that you're pushing the sit bones into the floor to assist with this length and postural alignment that we want in the spine. Just a gentle chin nod. And we're going to start with taking some deep breaths. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now make these expansive. We want to be breathing into the rib cage. And if you can imagine that you're actually breathing into this space next to you, so widen the ribs as you inhale. And exhale out of the mouth. Just make it a free exhale. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. And when I say free exhale, just let it be freeing through the body. Let it relax your shoulders, let it relax your neck on top of your spine and your head on top of your neck. Go for a few more of these deep breaths. Close your eyes if you feel that helps you concentrate a little better on where you're breathing into. And get a sense that your shoulders are slightly moving as you inhale and exhale. And maybe as your chest slightly expands and opens up towards the ceiling as you take your deep breath in and as it just releases when you exhale. Okay, last one. And we are going to continue with those breaths, but just take your hands either side of you, lengthening your fingers away. Just maybe walk your fingers a little bit further away from you. Still trying to gain that length through the spine here, okay? So we're not extending through the spine and pushing the rib cage and chest forward. We're trying to get a really nice alignment in the spine. So imagine we're actually resting on a wall behind us. So you're going to take your palms and rotate them towards the ceiling. We're going to take a deep breath in at this stage. As you exhale, rotate the palms out and lower back down. Inhale, we lift up. Exhale and lower back down. And now you might find that as you take your arms up on the inhale, that you may get a little bit more breath into the rib cage, sending it out to the side. And just try and breathe into the back and the sides of the rib cage. Can you breathe into the full circumference of the ribs? Make them work, make them stretch a little. Two more. And on this last one, as you take your hands down, you're going to press. Imagine you've got a wall either side of you and you're going to press that wall down. Feel that engaging through your core muscles and trying to lengthen through every single vertebrae. Create some space into the spine here, pressing your hands down. Good. Taking the hands now on top of the knees once again and just keeping that length through the spine. You're going to start to roll one shoulder back and then shortly after roll the other shoulder back. So they're not going at the same time. You're just kind of getting this alternate shoulder movement. Do you feel that as you roll your shoulders, you're keeping long through the spine still, openness across your chest. And does it feel like it's actually moving into your spine slightly, so that we have some rotation, some real nutrients into the middle back? This might feel like it maybe stretches around the rib cage area, so be conscious about the breathing. So conscious breaths, because that will ultimately help your spine move and also get a little bit more of a stretch. Let's switch and reverse the opposite way. So although we're going forward here, we don't want it to be closing in the spine. So watch that your body doesn't start to fold forward. Good. And then meet back in the center with both shoulders. Roll up to the ears back and then draw them down. Deep breath in. Exhale and lower. One more of those. As you lower the shoulders down, connect the shoulders down into the muscles of the lats, so drawing the shoulder blades down your back, taking a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to press your hands down into your knees and feel how that actually engages your core muscles. Can you feel that as you breathe out, your pressure here into your knees is actually forcing your rib cage to pull down towards your pelvis? Maybe your pelvic floor muscles switch on involuntarily. Maybe you have to concentrate on that a little bit more. So exhale, press down. Shoulder blades draw down your back. You're getting some force in there. Try and elongate your exhale as much as possible. Inhale and release. So this is just going to prepare us for the work ahead. Exhaling, pressing down into the knees. Feeling the core muscles join in with helping your spine be stable and lengthen. One more time, pressing down. And then release there. Good. So you're going to take yourself into an all fours position. So rotate yourself around. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. Your feet are flat on the floor and your knees are directly underneath your hips. Okay? We want to try and lengthen through the spine. So keep that length that you just gained in your seated position. You're not looking forward, you're looking straight down in between the hands. Imagine you have a string attached to the middle vertebrae. You're going to take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, press into your hands, round the lower back, and lift from that middle vertebrae where the string is attached to, into your cat stretch. As you inhale, you're going to drop your tummy down towards the floor. Maybe imagine there is a string attached to your belly button. You're lifting your sit bones up towards the ceiling and actually lifting your head as well into your cow stretch. Then you exhale, go from the center spine, lift up, get an internal strength from your core muscles here as you round the back. Inhale, open back up into your cow stretch. Two more of these. Exhale, rounding through the spine, pressing your hands into the floor. And then inhale, opening back up through the chest and the tummy. So come into a position where you are in the middle of those two extremes, which is your neutral. You're going to maintain the shoulder blades drawing down and the length through the back of the neck. Now I'd just like you to start to reach your rib cage towards the right hand side and then reach it over towards the left hand side. Can you do this without doming your back or maybe going into a bit of a cat stretch here? You're going to inhale every time that you press your rib cage over to the side. So for example, if you're reaching your rib cage over to the left, take a deep breath in and expand into your left rib cage. Exhale, center. Inhale to the right, expanding into your right rib cage, and exhale, center. And you may feel an extra stretch there into your intercostal muscles, which run in between the rib cage and around. Good. Finish off after this last couple. Just make sure you're even each side. And then arrive back into the centered position, pressing the hands into the floor, taking a deep expansive breath into the rib cage. And as you exhale, just lift your right hand off of the floor and just reach it forward. You're going to press into your left hand and circle all the way around, opening the chest to the right, and then bring the hand back. We'll go to the left side. So just switch the weight over very softly towards the right hand. Support it, so press the hand into the floor. Lengthen. As you exhale, we're circling around and then bringing it back to center. Exhale, switch over, circle around. Now, as you do this rotation, can you keep your pelvis very still and stable? So there's going to be some work going through the arm of the shoulder that is on the floor, or the arm of the hand that's on the floor, sorry. Good. And we go for 2 more. Exhaling, lift, circle around, placing the hand back down onto the floor, and then drop back into your child's pose. So just try and stay here for a moment. You don't need to press into your hands, just relax the elbows down onto your mat. And if it feels okay to relax your head onto the floor as well. A couple of deep breaths here, trying to just relax a little bit deeper into your hips. Maybe see whether your bottom can lower down closer towards your ankles. And then what I'd like you to do, keeping your elbows on the floor, you're going to lift your forehead slightly off of the mat and then just drag move your nose on the floor forwards towards your fingers, lift the head and press up. You're then going to round the spine into a cat stretch and then take your hips back down to your heels. Again, lifting the head, so initiating that first movement from the neck. The shoulders are away from the ears, and you're just going to move the weight forwards towards your hands, just keeping your nose as close to the floor as you can. Lift your head, press up into your hands, and then round the spine after you've had a little extension there. Taking it back, we've got 2 more here. Lifting the head, drawing your nose forward. Again, lifting the head, pressing up, and then rounding your spine. Last one, taking your bottom down to your ankles, elbows rest. Head lifts. We draw a line with our nose. We raise up and then round through the spine. Good. So from here, what I'd like you guys to do is just ensure that the legs are still hip width apart, because that position, that movement that we did just then may have changed it. Take your hands slightly further forward and then just take the weight in towards your hands so that you can feel the spine is actually a lot straighter. There's no bend or as much of a bend at the hips. Now lower yourself down by bending your elbows with control. Take your hands slightly further forward, so above the shoulders. You're going to inhale to lift the head, press into your hands and open the chest towards the wall in front of you. Shoulders draw down your back. You don't have to straighten your elbows here. You can have a slight bend in them. And then lower back down as you exhale, just nodding the chin. Now, if that's too difficult, just take your hands a little bit further forward so that the extension through the back isn't as large. So we take a deep breath in, we lift the head, we press into the hands, and we open the chest bone towards the wall in front of us. You're not looking up, you're just looking forwards. And then we exhale to lower back down. Just 1 more of those. Deep breath in, we raise up, we lengthen through and lift from the crown of the head and press into the hands. Shoulders pulled down the back and open a little bit more if we can. And then lower your elbows down onto the floor. You're going to reach your left hand forward. And then I'd like you to just roll onto your side, taking your knees into a 90-degree angle. Okay, so I'm laid on my left side at the moment. I'm going to take my left hand around the back of the head. Wrap the right hand around the top side of the head and just let your elbows draw together. Lengthen through your spine, try not to look down towards your thighs. Take a deep breath in, we raise the elbow towards the ceiling, and then exhale, just supporting the head. Try and let it relax down to the floor. Be aware of how much tension you're holding here. and just rotate around as far as you can. Hold it for a deep breath in, expanding through the ribs, and then exhale, draw it back into the center. Okay, nice and easy. So inhale, we lift. We use the exhale to just yawn into this exercise. Let us just relax into it as much as possible. And just feel the spine benefiting from this stretch without having to force it into more of a stretch. Last one. Be conscious that the knees stay right on top of one another. And then we bring it back as we breathe out. Take the right hand onto the floor. You're going to separate the legs and push yourself up into a mermaid. So this is where we have a zigzag position with the legs, okay? So we are going to lift up and over and just reach towards our feet. So left hand for me is reaching towards the right side. Just getting this beautiful side stretch. Take a deep breath in. You're going to just rotate the chest and open the shoulder. Breathe into the armpit. And then exhale, bring it back to center. Go with one more for me. Inhale, open up through the chest. Exhale, bring it back. And then we're going to raise up into seated. This is where we switch the legs over to the other side. Now the right side is going to lift over towards the left. So we take a deep breath in. As you exhale, we tilt over, trying to gain a lovely side stretch here, breathing into the rib cage all the way up to the armpit. And then exhale, reach a little bit further over if you can, relaxing the shoulder. Deep breath in this time, try and rotate the chest and the armpit towards the ceiling. And exhale, bring it back into center. One more. Inhale, open the chest towards the ceiling. And then bring it back into center and lowering yourself down to the other side, where we repeat that lovely rotational exercise on the right side. So you're laid down onto your right, your knees are stacked up, your right hand wraps around the back of your head, and your left hand joins it at the back. Okay, your elbows are relaxed around your head. And lengthen through your spine again. Just remember not to look down at your thighs. Take a deep breath in. Your top elbow lifts up to the ceiling. Your shoulders draw down your back. And then as you exhale, just very relaxed rotation. Chest just rotates towards the ceiling. And then inhale to hold, to exhale and bring yourself back. Two more of those. Deep breath in. Exhaling, release, relax. Try and keep the knees stacked on top of one another. No tension in the neck or the shoulders. Exhale, bring it back in again. Very relaxing exercise. Exhale. See whether or not on this last one you can get a little further without pressing or forcing it. Hold for a deep breath in. And then exhale, bring it back into center. Good. And then we'll press our right hand back into the floor, left hand, and raise up back into a seated position where we started. So we'll go with a few shoulder rolls. We'll just let the shoulders relax down after this last one. You're going to press the sit bones into the floor, gain some length through the spine. And I hope that has either set you up for your day or assist in a nice sleep this evening. But either way, have a great, great day, and I will see you tomorrow.